Apparently, we're live. Okay, so this is the first stream on YouTube. It's going to be rough, it's going to be awkward, it's probably going to go really wrong, but let's give it a go. So, I will obviously, my name is Ryan. I am the hobbyist. I am a hobbyist. All right, there we go. Full screen. Well, we're off to it. Let's go. So, my name is Ryan. I am a neurodivergent autistic hobbyist, and this is my content creation hobby special interest rolled into one. Now, generally in my videos, shorts, etc., I do script mask a lot and obviously try my best to appear more presentable to oneself. I'm actually a lot more comfortable live because I'm just being myself, going with the flow. So we'll see how it goes. YouTube is a whole different medium compared to like Twitch, etc. But anyway, our channel is devoted to everything to do with hobbies. Just because I'm a neurodivergent doesn't mean we do neurodivergent specific content solely. We may cover that in the future with regards to my late diagnosed autism, etc. And we'll take it from there. So anything relating to hobbies, engaging with other people who like hobbies, trying out new hobbies, strategizing, enjoying our hobbies more, getting healthy habits, finances to do with hobbies, we cover all of that. These live streams will be a way with me engaging with the community and my audience. Um, the way I am going to format it out. Hey, Stream Deck doesn't work. There we go. Is each live stream, I'm going to have an overall subject matter. Then we're going to have three discussion points and then a Q&A. My hope is that I will be able to keep to this format without, going off script, rambling, talking about, I don't know, Dragon Ball Z or something. I don't know. Some random subject not on course. I will obviously get used to the fact if people obviously are chatting in the chat and whatnot, and hopefully I'll be able to respond. Um, I will have to get used to that. Um, I don't even know if I have chat open. Yep, we have chat on. So, yeah, and so the idea is because I feel YouTube live streams are a bit more, they're in between. They're not quite scripted content and well thought out and they concepts, etc. But they're not Twitch live streams, which is like a social hangout, enjoying gaming, discussions, etc. And topics are off the hook and flying everywhere. So I'm hoping to find a middle ground, or I could be proving completely wrong and end up doing either or. But this is the format I've come to use, and we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I want to at least have, at least for those people that didn't make the live stream, and YouTube allows those live streams to be placed as videos. So obviously, if you didn't make it to the live stream, at least you have some context on what the stream's about, some discussion points, and you can follow it along. That is my hope, and we'll see how it goes. As usual, I've got some bullet points to go through so I don't go off script and forget what I'm talking about, which I will do anyway. It's just who I am. But again, lives is great for me because I just like to ramble on and ramble on anyway, so must remember to take breathers. Okay, introduce myself and the channel. We're going to engage with the audience, the community. This is just another means of, like, I like to do it all. I'm doing content creation as a hobby, so I want to experience all of it. Live streams, videos, shorts, verticals, socials, and this is another means of not dealing with, engaging with the audience and, the community members and the people who take the time to watch my content and engage in it. And like I said previously, it's live is quite easier for me. I don't have to mask as much. I don't have to hide my autism, my tics. I am fidgeting. Hopefully, the mic isn't picking it up as much as it normally is. but I'm comfortable to be myself. You know, I don't have time to prep and think to myself, oh, am I looking at the camera? Am I maintaining eye contact, etc.? So hopefully I will be comfortably myself and that will project to my audience. Feedback is always appreciated, but I hopefully the whole point of doing content creation as a hobby, not a business, is it's just as much about me enjoying content creation as it is ensuring my audience gets what they need from my content. And that mix is just, healthy. So I'm hopefully that's what I'll get out of it, and a bit more relaxed compared to disaster. So, and it's also a way of kind of gaining feedback from your audience. You've got comment sections. Sometimes people don't do it, but they might be more willing to engage in the comments of a live stream. Whatever people are comfortable with. I don't overtly, want people just, chat away, chat away. If you want to chat, you want to ask me something, by all means, get to it. It's up to yourself and you need to feel comfortable to do so. Besides, I think I chat enough for, 10, 20 people at the same time anyway, so having a breather to read your comments will be appreciated nonetheless. I am always nasally. If you've watched any of my videos, any of my shorts, I suffer quite a lot from allergies. I am always nasally. I do apologize about the sniffling in my voice. Can't really do anything about it, unfortunately. All right. I think that's all that we need for the introductions. Um, when I floated this idea in Discord stuff, there was a lot of interest of me discussing specific hobbies, special interests, etc. On live stream, and maybe devoting an entire live stream to talking about an individual hobby or a special interest, etc. That is an idea. It's obviously those subjects might be a lot easier to talk about live and engage with your audience live on a specific subject, but it also segregates it into, like, if you're not interested in ice hockey and we're doing a live stream about discussions about ice hockey, then a certain percentage or whatnot of your audiences will, I'd have no interest in ice hockey at all. So we'll see how that goes. It has been quite a suggestion to veer more to specific hobbies rather than a generalized overview of hobbies. But I do take that on board, and specific content around specific hobbies and special interests is definitely on my radar. Whether or not it's a super long video, short video, or live, I don't know yet, but we'll see how it goes. Scheduling wise, I'm not sure at the moment. As I'm doing this as a hobby, my time is very limited, but I hope to get some kind of consistency. I'm hoping for every other Wednesday we'll do a live stream and we'll take it from there. But yeah, okay. So, first ever live stream, people. The rambling's over. I've introduced myself. I've introduced myself, haven't I? Probably have. Okay, so this live stream, I kind of kept it very bland, it's just going to be simply talking about myself, the channel, the content, the purpose of these live streams going forth. So we've got our discussion points here and we're going to go through the motions here. So I will just go through it. I'll keep an eye on chat, but I want to cover the content just again for those people that might not be able to make the live streams. So the purpose of the channel and the live streams as a whole, I think it's about, getting to know the audience. I think going live, you can engage with people in real time. For me, if a person takes up the time to actually watch and engage you at a specific time, live on stream, that's devotion and commitment, and I appreciate that from anybody who does it, even if they didn't enjoy it in the end, or I didn't, it's all a learning experience after all. They made the commitment and the time commitment to participate in the live stream with you. Every viewer is somebody who has committed time to watching and engaging with you. So I appreciate that and use that opportunity to hopefully engage with my audience as well. Chat with them, offer them information and experience, but also an authentic self. I'm so glad I'm able to fidget in these videos, live streams, because normally in my generic videos, I kind of keep them, that quite masked. We'll see how it goes. I might watch it back and this fidget is actually making a lot of noise, but we'll see how it goes. I think as well is going live compared to videos is another means of getting feedback. You've got live chat, giving those experiences as you go. I mean, somebody might say your mic levels are low, etc., and you make a quick adjustment. You can't do that in a video. You'd have to start again and go through the motions and, post production, etc. So it's just another means of engaging, getting feedback, learning. I don't come from a filmography background, and well, let's face it, I have almost no skill at all in content creation. I'm doing this purely as fun, a passion project, and interest. So any feedback and anything that I can learn from the people that engage with my content is it's really appreciated. And I think again, me being more comfortable to share myself live compared to in pre-recorded scripted videos, it makes myself more comfortable to be who I am. Um, Again, not forcing myself to make eye contact with a camera audience. Hello everyone. All right. See, going off track already. This is why I have some bullet points. Keep me going. I think as well is when you're live, you're not bound by a very specific script. Fair enough, I am. I've got bullet points. I want to cover stuff, so I'm not rambling for hours. But it also allows me to think off the cuff and kind of come up with discussions more freely, talk about hobbies, and rather than say, for example, in a challenge episode we're doing, I don't know, yo-yoing and um jigsaw puzzles. We've done those in the past. You can watch the videos on our channel. We can specifically talk about those hobbies on here, or we can talk about another hobby that we haven't covered yet and in the future. So there's a bit more dynamic discussion when you do things live, and I like that. I think again, it's just another element, an opportunity to engage with your audience. Oh, right. I tend to rock back and forth a lot during videos that I'm a bit more relaxed in, so I will forewarn people on that. Um, I think as well, again, if not me speaking out loud and whatnot, people get used to who I am, as a person, and that's important to me because me prior to my autistic diagnosis was a different person. I was still an autistic person, but I was a person who didn't realize they were autistic. I was weird, strange. I had certain issues that I thought everybody else had. And going through those motions, I kind of opened up to the idea now. I was like, oh, wow, I really am autistic. And it allows me to open up and be that person because maybe I don't know who I should be. Anyway, I'm again going off on a tangent here, but it allows me to develop my style freely without being bound to thinking, oh, I think that's what other content creators do. I should do it as well. Like, I keep looking everywhere and that feels comfortable. I keep rocking and fidgeting back and forth. It feels comfortable. I think live, I don't feel the urge to cover that up. There might be people that are off put by it or don't like it, and everyone is entitled to their opinions, but I think being live like this, I kind of like the idea of not masking too much. So hopefully going forth, this will be a safe place for me to unmask, be my authentic self, and hopefully stay on topic. Right, the last point I put, again, talking about it is YouTube does feel like the halfway point. It's not scripted, planned content and videos. It's not the Wild West of Twitch streaming and, you know, a group hangout session, etc. I want this to be informative videos. In the future, we will have more subjects rather than me just literally discussing what the channel is and the hope for live streams. But I want a sense of structure, so if someone does miss the live stream, they can, pick up this video, get the information from it, or see the whole live stream in the chaos that it is. Whatever person's fancy, we're just going to go with the flow and see what, content we create together. I realized I haven't actually changed the scene for a while, so back to that. Actually, no, I need that back because we are now done with discussion point number one. Yes, I didn't do this in paint. This was professionally done, this paint mark. It took like 5 seconds. I'm not, you notice in my content, I'm not good at thumbnails, not good at artistic stuff, craftsmanship, etc. So anything that needs an artistic feel, it tends to be terrible or templated. I apologize for my offensive artwork and templated content, but excuse me, needs must. Okay, so the second discussion point I wanted to have is about growth. Now, growth in myself, great growth in the community, the content, and the future, as it were. Um, yeah. So the one thing I have to cover, and it's, would I say controversial? Not necessarily. It's like I said, I want to get this over quite quickly and to the point. I am doing content creation as a hobby. It's a passion of mine. I have such a interest for it. I don't have a natural skill, talent. I very much lack an entire personality, but I love doing content creation, but I do it as a hobby. I have a full-time job. I do this when I can, when I'm not burnt out or fatigued or going through the autistic motions, as it were. It is a hobby, and because of that, I'm not chasing subscribers, viewers, etc. It's not my goal and purpose. Do I like it when people subscribe, view my content, and chat and engage with me? Of course, because it's engagement. I'm learning from people. They are experiencing my content and giving feedback. That I appreciate more than the statistic of, oh, you've got 500 subs, you've got 1,000 subs, etc. It's not about that. It's about the enjoyment and building of a community. And although I do the stereotypical like, comment, subscribe thing at end of videos, etc., I think that's more because when I literally Googled how to content create, that's what people told me to do. Whether or not it serves its purpose, who knows? If you want to subscribe and you know about that subscribe button, use it. I think to a certain degree, you shouldn't really need to tell people. I think if they like your content, they should be intuitive to see if they want to like, comment, and subscribe. Anyway, I really do see that I go off on rambling, so I will be trying out like people's suggestions and trying to find out what works for these live streams and find a purpose and how I want to do them. Like I said, I'm doing this very off the cuff. I've got my discussion points, I've got some points I wish to cover, and I'm hoping I don't reach an hour without a drink. Because my throat will go dry, but we'll see how it goes. I think as well is I am not shy about the fact that I am very lacking in, you know, traditional, content creation skills. I don't have great people skills. I don't have, I mean, I wouldn't say great appearance, but I'm not charismatic. There's the word. There we go. I haven't got the greatest personality. People aren't drawn to me. Just simple fact that I'm kind of a loner. Um, so I don't always have those qualities that you see within content creators. I'm not saying you can't have a content creator who's very shy, reserved, or similar to myself and not do well and productive, etc. But I don't really tend to think of myself as a content creator of having the characteristics that I see in other content creators. You know, I don't know where I'm going with this, but I am developing those skills as I go at snail speed. I tell you now, like my editing skills, I've tried out editing now for about 3, 4 years, on and off, of course. I have barely improved. I tend to find what works for me, a quicker way of doing it and keeping it efficient so I don't burn out. That is my forte. And if in 10, 15 years my videos and content look okay, I think that's a success. I think as well that you can use like live content for teasing upcoming content. We've talked about feedback, but you can also provide your audience with snippets of what's going on, and that engagement you can't get from videos. I'm not going to just blurt out that, oh, I'm working on, the next hobby, bird watching. That's an upcoming video that will be, don't know when it will be released, but I'm starting that now in, you know, May. And that will be the next challenge. I'm not going to spontaneously talk about that during a video, but I may want to engage with it in a live stream. Say, I'm currently doing, some bird watching, etc., learning the hobby from other people who do it, etc. So, spur of the moment conversations that are led by your audience is authentic and a great means to share with individuals who take the time to watch your content. You can learn from your audience, you can learn about your audience. And I think that's something that's really invaluable, especially for someone like myself who doesn't really interact with other humans. I've basically lived online pretty much my entire life, and that's been my engagement. And, socially awkward, no social skills, etc. That stereotypical diagnostic criteria for autistic people, completely. I have no social skills. So I kind of envelop and develop my skills project where I don't even know where I'm going with this, but I'm learning to be my content creation self. It'll be interesting to see how that comes across. But I do feel more authentic live. I don't seem to be hiding myself. I don't seem to be thinking, oh, that wasn't a great take. Let me try it again. And oh, the lighting, I need to adjust that. I'm just going with the flow and we'll see how it goes. I love the way this live stream will be, up on the internet forever, but enjoy. Right. You probably shouldn't drink during live streams, but I gotta admit, I've been talking non-stop at 100 miles per hour for about 20 plus minutes. I need a drink. I've had my fidget, and now I'm gonna have a bit of a drink. I will say, even though I've said about not masking during live streams, etc., I did like over fidget and stim prior. So my hand movement wouldn't, it's already going as I'm talking about it. So I have really restless hands. They love to fidget and play with things as we go. So there's always going to be an element of unmasking and masking, etc. But whatever you feel comfortable and displaying, we'll go with that. All right, back on track. I'm useless at this. So the third topic was going to be the hopes for the live streams and the channel itself, really, just a bit overview. And I think as well, it's very similar. Now, I didn't expect anybody to actually appear on this live stream. It's a brand new content creation channel. It's, I basically put it on the community tab about 2 days ago. So I don't expect the chat to be flowing, as it were, but people in the future might watch this live stream and leave your comments and feedback. Be gentle. I know my personality is non-existent, but that feedback can appreciate. It's something I can do. If it's a case of like, am I off-centered, which I tend to always be, just let me know and I'll try and adjust it and stuff like that. But I think for me as an individual, I don't want to overtly change myself too much, maybe change the mic levels, etc. But me as a person, I think I want to remain that authentic person in live streams. I'm not saying I'm not authentic in videos, it's just a lot more heavily scripted, and you're allowed to take your best take and you do some editing, etc. So there is a bit of a facade there in a certain sense, although I'm still being me and the script is written by me, my own words, etc. It's basically designed there to keep the video from being 50 minutes long and me going off on tangents like I am now. This is why we have bullet point lists. I love a list. I think as well, that feedback and comments is about, it could be about the live stream, but it could also be about what you would like to see in the future of the channel, from videos, shorts. What would you like to see in this live stream? I've just come up with this structure because it suits my need for structure and order. So obviously, title, discussion points, keeping myself on track with bullet points, going with the flow because I don't expect much from the chat. I don't expect too much of an audience. Like I said, it's a brand new channel. So I want at least those that join into this know that there's something that's being discussed that they might enjoy, but then also leave room for like questions, answers, helping individuals, etc., who might not want to comment on videos but might want to partake and get information from a live stream. Diversifying how I engage with my audience and help individuals is definitely up there on my list. I think my thoughts on live streams, it's a bit of a wild west. It's like I've streamed in the past on Twitch, and I literally was just myself. I was gaming, having fun, answering people's questions when they asked me stuff, and just going with the flow. I think with YouTube, I want it to be a mixture. I want it to be on topic, providing information, but also engaging with the audience. So balancing those two elements of almost like, here's an informative video, but also engaging with my audience who may have questions for me, have this opportunity to engage with me and ask questions about the content. And I think as well, it's also a means of being able to cover, excuse me, cover subject matters that I wouldn't normally cover in videos. And like, there is a lot I want to do and explore. Like, these challenge episodes, they are getting a lot longer, but I'm trying to keep them down. I've even thought about putting them into 2, 3 episodes and separating it so they're more like hypothetically or research based. A lot of people see a 40, 50 minute video from a channel they don't know. They're less likely to engage and click that video than, say, a 10-minute video on a channel they don't know. So, but I've got to balance it on basically how I want things to be done. This is a hobby. I'm not trying to, take people's money and get 1 million subscribers and pay the rent, etc. via this hobby. I'll be lucky if it, pays for itself. It's never going to pay for itself. But I'm having fun, and that's the nature of it. So we can discuss topics here that, I really want to discuss, I really want to engage in, but I feel like it's out of my reach to do it as a video. Now, although I can prepare, I can do tons of research for videos. If somebody says, "Oh, do you want to talk about my hobby, golf?" There's limited information that I would be able to provide to that discussion because I don't play golf and I wouldn't have any pre-done research about golf. But I'm more than happy to discuss it and learn from that individual. So that is something that I can have and get from my audience. And that is obtainable via live streams. Yeah. Oh. And I'd be amiss if I mean, I can use a live stream to promote future videos, future content, ideas, and concepts. I think, what's the next challenge that I've just done before bird watching? Yo-yos? I mean, I could promote future content. I could say, oh, you check out the challenge series. I put ridiculous amounts of effort into terrible, terrible content. Like, that yo-yo content is like, half of it is me practicing with a yo-yo in my backyard. It's terrible, but it was fun. It's an experience. And, just picking up a hobby that I would never get to do. I think to myself, like, I've scrapbooking. That is the one we did last month. And never would have thought of doing scrapbooking in my life. I think my mum probably would do it, but not myself. And yet thought, you know what? I want to look into this, what it is all about. Doing that research, enjoying that hobby as a fresh beginner was quite an experience. My only hurdle about those hobbies is creating the content because I have literally no editing and filmography skill at all. Like, everything I shoot looks like it's been done by somebody with no experience, is still in, high school or something. And well, to be honest, someone in high school probably has a lot more talent than me. Anyway, I digress. We can talk about upcoming projects. We can talk about people's interests, hobbies, and engage in the community. I think I've said this a million times. Don't know why it's on a million and one bullet points. But I think overall, it's something that I want to try and develop. I think as well, because this is a hobby, it's something I can use to, again, we talk about engagement and stuff, but also learn myself as a person on how I'm going, about creating content, developing myself. It's a journey, it's an experience, and I'll hopefully learn from every live stream, from every video, short, script, every engagement with my community. And that means the world to me. Um, that day where, we'll get comments and on videos and engagement. And even if it's a comment, I've had someone that says, you made a spell mistake or something like that. Sounds good to me. Um, but yeah, I hope, to learn and develop as I go. Like I said, this is the first stream. It's going to be terrible. I'm very nasally, but let me know what you think. If you've seen this future before, after, if you're watching this video live or after, a post recording, etc. Let me know what you think. It's very rough. I'm speaking very quickly, so I do apologize for anyone who isn't able to follow my quick nasally voice. But let me know. Like I said, this, because the type of person I am and lacking in social skills, autistic, etc., it's very difficult for me to. I don't know. I'm trying to. Am I always trying? Yes, I am always trying to be like other people because I don't think of myself as presentable or like other people. Therefore, we're always told, this is my experience projecting, being different isn't good. That's how I grew up. So I'm kind of trying to get comfortable with being myself and projecting that. It might be annoying. I've gone off on another tangent and I forgot where we're going now. So normally when I've covered all the points, I thought we'd go for a Q&A session. And again, my editing and design skills are terrible. So there's a notepad document. Now, because I only posted in the community and socials like 2 days prior to the live stream, not even my family made comments on these community tabs, etc. So I've just come up with 2 questions that generic about content creation, and we'll see. I'll just talk about those, and we'll close out the live stream. And hopefully, the next live stream will be a bit more organized. I'll feel a bit more myself and get comfortable. I probably will still go off on tangents. Right. So these are the questions that I came up with. How are you finding content creation? Um, it is one of the best and challenging experiences of my life. I feel I'm an amateur at pretty much everything that content creators tell me they need to do to make content. So video editing, filmography, lighting, visuals, everything like that. I feel like I'm learning from scratch. I'm 36 years old and I'm doing this from scratch, learning it and etc. Now, computers etc. great, but that's different from learning editing based software and visual like color grading etc. I'm learning it from scratch. So that's very difficult, and especially the fact that I have a full-time job in the NHS mental health team. I'm doing my 9 to 5 and then finding the energy to content create. But the way I'm doing it as a hobby means I've allowed myself a bit of freedom. I'm not following trends. I'm not thinking, oh, I need to cover that. I need to make a video of that this week. So I tend to have about a 1 to 3 month surplus of content. So if I'm ever fatigued, getting burnt out, etc., I can take a month off from this hobby, recharge the batteries and then get back on top of it. So that sense of freedom within this hobby is, a lot of things, content creators don't get that when they're doing it as a full-time job because they need that consistency to stay relevant, etc. For me, doing this as a hobby, I have the ability to project and create content as I see fit. So that sense of freedom is really amazing for me and it fits my lifestyle, it fits what I want from a hobby. But it's not all doom and gloom in terms of what I bring to the table. You know, maybe these bullet points are a bit overkill, but that structure and organization, like I have a spreadsheet with like 30, 40 tabs that allow me to calculate stuff. They tally up information, analytics, etc., mostly for fun, but it also has their use in terms of, you know, tracking content and where I'm up to. Do I need to do a script on that? Where am I up to on that? When are we going to releasing it? So that organization skills comes naturally to me. Like there's a lot of videos on YouTube about how do you organize things, how do you use calendars, and that just comes naturally to me. I've never had a problem organizing my content, my schedule, and although a lot of the time, if my neurodivergent brain doesn't want to do something, I have to change that schedule on the fly. I might be scheduling this today, I want to work on a script. Well, I just generally put this week, try and work on the script rather than saying 8 p.m. on a Monday, script work, which is productive and it works for people, not for my neurodivergent brain. If I haven't got the mental capacity to do that task, I have to make adaptations, I have to make changes. So, but this hobby allows for that. And I think as well, it's developing a lot of skills that I personally don't have. So I think it's really quite a profound experience when you're developing, I don't want to say your weak spots, that type of thing, my weaknesses and what I'm not good at is quite rewarding rather than, I don't know, something I'm really good at. What am I good at? I don't know. Point still there. If you develop something that you're already good at, you do get a relief. Like if you're really passionate about something and you keep getting better at it, you will feel good about it. But improving something that you have never thought that you would have the ability or the confidence to. I never thought I'd have the confidence to be live streaming on the internet. Like I am shy and an introvert. I'm autistic. I am not built for live streaming, but I've had the courage to put myself out there. And I think that's really rewarding. Right, last question. Your favorite part of content? Um, I think like it's very similar to what I've just noted is the freedom to make content as I go. Like I've been awake for like 3 days in a row just hammering content scripts, editing, and then I've done nothing for about 5 weeks. And I have enjoyed every minute of that and in between that. And I've never felt stressed about, oh, I'm never going to get it done. Like, I have just recently gone through a really rough autistic fatigue, meltdown, inertia, my brain fog for about 5 weeks now. And I've really struggled to do any content. But I've also had about a 2.5 months surplus, which means even after those 5 weeks where I've really struggled mentally, neurologically to be productive, I've still got a month's worth of pre scheduled content that's going out to my audience. And yet I've had the time to go through these motions and recover. That sense of freedom about that is my favorite part of the content, basically. Wow, I waffle on a lot. Okay, so this was the first ever live stream, probably an utter disaster. Um, if you like an autistic person rambling and trying really hard to stay on subject but failing, these live streams are probably going to be for you. If in the future you want to have any questions about the content we create, myself, hobbies in general, anything, please leave it in the comments, come on a live stream, or just use whatever format in terms of communication to ask your questions, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. Um, check out our videos, streams, shorts, verticals, socials. Check out our profile. If to be honest, click the Linktree link. It's got everything on there. I'm terrible at social media, but giving it a try. I also do very casual hangout streams on Twitch. They're very sporadic. There's no schedule. When I'm a bit fatigued and I just want to casually hang out or stream gaming, that's where I'll go. So because it doesn't have a schedule, find me on there again, Linktree, Twitch. Follow me, and whenever I'm doing, you feel like a hangout and I'm on there, come join me. We'll chill out, and probably the half the stream will be me trying to decide which game I play or what subject to talk about. But yeah, it's a good place to hang out. Otherwise, hope you enjoyed this stream. This one wasn't overtly informative or subject matter orientated. In the future, I will put more information on the community tabs and we'll go through the motions. Like I said, I want it to be quite structured for those people who can't make it and watch it playback in on YouTube as a video. But on the other hand, I also want to engage with the community and whatnot. So there will be room for development in the future for audience discussions and winging it basically, which I'm not good at, even though my brain and mouth would disagree. Who knows? All right. Don't know how to sign off, so I'm probably just going to find out where the end broadcast button is. And yeah. So yeah, I've been Ryan, the neurodivergent hobbyist. You've been a part of this community. I wish you happy hobbying. Check out our content. And I am a terrible streamer. I'm gonna have a bit of a drink, relax, and I'll see you in the next one.